How does Brhamanda Yog meditation affect us at an intracellular level?
First of all, understand the concept that, of Brahman Yoga meditations versus any other meditation that you see around. I think we have addressed to some extent in some other podcasts before, but I'll touch upon it again so that everybody can understand. I have met so many people who say, I've tried to meditate or I do meditate. And when I ask them, like, what is meditation for you? And they said, well, mostly we're trying to stop our mind. Or somebody says, I'm just trying to witness my thoughts, my emotions. And I tell, this is not actually meditation. Meditation begins when you stop your mind. And you stop your mind in Brahman Yoga by the way of pran kriyas, focused pran kriyas, specific advanced pran kriyas, which help you bring your mind to as slowest possible state as possible. And then you begin the process of meditation, which is going deep inside of yourself and going into a higher state, as we discussed, the Turiya state. And now to understand that although I say that I am an individual and I have a consciousness, but we must understand that I am not one individual. I'm a collection of, say, as modern science says, of 50 trillion cells. And every cell has its own mind and has its own consciousness. And when those 50 trillion cells, their mind and consciousness is going in all directions, it will have an impact on our lives, whether it's physical, emotional, spiritual, whatever you call. But once we go into higher states with Brahmanda Yoga, we are influencing all the 50 trillion cells, their minds and consciousness, so that they're all aligned in one direction. And if we do that, then we have a higher chance of success in terms of happiness in our life, health in our life, relationships, anything that we want in our life is achieved through this state of meditation of Brahmanda Yoga.
And you also mentioned to me that the cells themselves, each cell has a memory of its own,
Yeah.
right? Can you expand a bit on that as well?
We call it intracellular memory, right? So every cell has its own memory. And that's how, with this memory, the DNA and the genes are being affected. So even if we say grossly, if intracellular memory of one cell is 5 gigabytes or 10 gigabytes, imagine the total memory of 50 trillion cells is humongous.
Yeah.
But then we can access this together only when we have all the cells kind of in a similar state of existence and consciousness.